Hey there, Eric Gall here from Empowering Ability. And I want you to think about this question for a minute. Do you pay people to be your friend? I didn't think so, right? That's not an ordinary thing to do. Now, I want you to think about the people that are in the life of your loved one with a developmental disability. And who do they consider to be their friends? How many of those people that they consider to be their friends are paid supporters? In other words, are being paid to be your loved one's friend. That is not an ordinary thing. So we need to start to shift our mindset here and help paid supporters shift their mindset because we don't want paid supporters acting like they're our loved ones' friends. So often, when I am interviewing people as paid supporters for my sister, I'll ask the question of, well, what do you want to get from this experience, take away from this experience when working with my sister? And they'll say like, well, I just love being friends with people, right? I would love to build a friendship. That is a flag on the field, right? That throws up a warning sign for me and is the opportunity to talk about what I'm about to share with you and to educate that paid supporter on how that's actually harmful. Because so often we might think, oh, that's great, that's no big deal, right? Our loved one would need those friends. But again, it's not ordinary to be paying people to be friends with us. So this is actually harmful, right? It's harmful when a paid supporter acts like a friend, but they're not actually a friend. Because when you think about it, if you've had paid supporters, you know that when they leave, right? There are the odd exception where maybe a person does stay in contact and actually does build a friendship, but 95, 96, 97, 98% of the time, that person leaves. And what happens? Well, that person with a disability, our loved one, is thinking, where did my friend go? Right? It's not ordinary for our friend just to pick up and leave without saying anything, right? But that's what happens with paid supporters. When they stop being paid, they leave. That is not friendship. And when that happens, that creates a hole in somebody's life. That's a traumatic event. Somebody left me, they abandoned me. There's a sense of abandonment, right? So that is a big, big problem. And I want you to be more aware of this and intentional about this with paid supporters that you either have now or that you might have in the future. The other problem that this creates when paid supporters act like a friend is it reduces the incentive to create authentic friendships or authentic relationships with other people that are not paid, especially in a situation where your loved one has a one-on-one supporter and they're in an ordinary place in community, maybe engaging in an interest. You don't want that paid supporter acting like a friend because your loved one might just be gravitating towards them. They're like, oh, I already have a friend like to be here with. And that reduces any incentive to interact with other people and build actual relationships. Okay, so these are things that, again, I just want to bring into your awareness. And many of us were in this situation, right? So if you're in this situation, it's okay. Again, no judgment, but now you're having some more awareness around this. So I want you to think about what's better. Okay, so let's talk about what's better. What's better is making sure that our paid supporters that we have are aware of this fact and to have some clear professional boundaries in place. And what do I mean by that? Well, we want supporters to be friendly, but not to act like a friend, to give that illusion and to be communicating that as well. So, what can we do instead? Well, we can have that paid supporter, we can be investing that support and having that paid supporter in the mindset of having the awareness to support our loved one to build friendships with other people in authentic ways and to maybe support by being that bridge to relationship with other people instead of trying to be the relationship with our loved one. So I'll repeat that again because I think it's important to be the bridge to relationship versus being being the relationship. Okay. So that is a really important mindset, which will help shift from just consuming that paid support to now investing that paid support in developing authentic relationships. Now, you might be thinking, well, is it ever okay for a paid supporter to be a friend to my loved one? And I would say once they are no longer being paid, if they decide to be in relationship with your loved one, then yes, that's okay. Then I think an authentic relationship can be built at that point. But if somebody's being paid, then it's a transactional relationship. Okay, so I want you to start to shift your thinking into, instead of just paying people to be your loved one's friend, to investing that support for that paid support to be helping to build relationships with your loved ones. If you want some more help to continue to think through this, to continue to learn about this concept of maybe shifting support from being consumed to invested, to helping for paid support to be helping to build relationships instead of acting as the fake friend. I've got an upcoming workshop that's going to be really helpful. That's all about helping your loved one to build an awesome, ordinary life. And this is a key component. So scroll down, there's a link below that you can click on and register for this free upcoming workshop. And I'd love you to leave a comment below as well. So go ahead and do that. I'm Eric Gall. Together, let's take a small step forward this week.